Hello everybody and welcome to Grassroots Vegan. I'm David Kelly, having a smoothie, kale, cilantro, pineapple, pear, and can't forget bananas, carbing up with the greens. Tasty, sweet, lovely. So, the last month and a half or so, I've been doing a lot of short-term trading online in the stock market, and it's not typical of what I normally do. I'm actually a long-term investor with your portfolio of diversification and allocation and all that stuff. Boring. But there was volatility in the market and I saw an opportunity here to make some quick, easy cash. And I did pretty good, not bad. And you know, you think I would be happy about that and my success that I had. And yet I found myself being unhappy, actually even being miserable and being very judgmental about my achievement. And the reason being was because I wasn't focusing on my successes, I was focusing on my missed opportunities, like the stocks I didn't invest in that could have done so much better had I invested in those. And there were a few of them that I was contemplating on buying, but because the timing wasn't right or the risk was too great, I decided not to. And then sure enough, the next day they just shot right up. My intuition about these particular companies was correct. And I missed out big time. And so I got caught up in just focusing on my missed opportunities, and it made me very unhappy. And you know, then I started thinking about life, like how many missed opportunities are there in my life? Probably hundreds of them, maybe thousands of them, I don't know. And I started thinking about that. Yeah, you know, our life is basically a series of missed opportunities. And then I started thinking deeper, but hold it, this is the wrong perspective. The reason why I'm unhappy about the stock market and all those missed opportunities is because I'm just focusing on the missed opportunities. And with the stock market, there's no hiding from those missed opportunities. They're always in your face. But fortunately with life, we don't get to see what those missed opportunities are because they never happen. And so they just remain a distant potential. Like if I had done that, I would have blah, 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 blah. But you don't really know what the outcome will be because you just never did it. They're just possibilities. And that's kind of a good thing that we don't have that in our face all the time because we'd all be unhappy. And, you know, that's where I realized that, yeah, this is the wrong perspective. I shouldn't be focusing on all the missed opportunities. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Whatever you chose in life, whatever direction you chose to go in is the right direction. It was for you. And it's not a matter of, you know, you've got so many doors in life, right? And especially when you're younger, you have more opportunities. And eventually you've got to sort of make a choice and go in a certain area. And then you've got to deal with that. And that's what really matters, is how you deal with your decision afterwards. And that's what's important. And then what's even more important is that you don't miss out on the simple things in life. Find a way of being content with the decision that you've made. Find the joy in that decision, in the everyday simple things of life. And in other words, notice things in your life every day. Don't miss out on that. Don't get caught up on, you know, oh, had I done things differently, my life would be so much better. That will make you miserable. This is the choice you've made, and this is the direction that you're going in. Now, you may be able to change that direction at a certain point, but find contentment, find fulfillment in the decisions that you've already made. And to me, that's the secret to a successful life. But then I started thinking further, you know, the greatest risk in life is playing it safe, taking no risk or not taking any serious risk. I mean, I guess you could look at it as, you know, life is risk, period. There's no way that you can live without taking risk. But I mean, you know, you don't do anything that could potentially really upset your life. Every decision you make pretty much guarantees you a certain level of safety and comfort. And that's the life that you've chosen. And I thought, yeah, you know, that's probably the greatest risk you could take, because by choosing to play it safe, you're going to miss out on many of life's wonderful experiences. And there's something to be said about just being foolish and going out there, not being afraid of making mistakes, falling flat on your face and getting back up. Those lessons are so valuable. Those experiences are so valuable. But, you know, everybody has, what we got to realize is that risk is real. In other words, you can get hurt. There's a potential of being hurt, whether it's financially, whether it's physically, whether it's emotionally. There's a potential of being hurt. You're going to marry somebody, there's a 50% chance that that marriage will fail. And I guess, you know, that's what insurance is all about, to protect us from that possibility of being hurt. But so what is helpful, I guess, is when you are making an important decision, like maybe starting your own business, getting married, going into a serious relationship, moving to another country, whatever, you know, the big decisions are about, you should measure your risk. You should be looking at it and thinking, okay, what could be possibly the worst case scenario if I go in this direction? And then, you know, and then you also want to ask yourself, what is my risk tolerance? Not everybody's meant or is built to climb Mount Everest. Not everybody is going to be doing these great and spectacular things in life. That doesn't mean your life is insignificant, but you might have a different level of risk tolerance. And so for you, going a certain direction is probably better than maybe taking on these huge monumental risks. And it's not that your life is any less than somebody that does something monumental and that is in the limelight. You know, we look at these people, we admire these people, but we got to realize that in order for them to achieve what they've achieved, they've taken enormous risk, and for the majority of people, that's just not, they don't have it. And I don't know why. Is it built in our DNA that some people are able to take greater risks than others? I don't know. I know you can learn to take greater risk, and it's just, you start off with baby steps, right? You go into an area, but you don't just jump into it or dive into it. You just take baby steps, and when you, by breaking out of your comfort zone, and so when you get comfort with a new level of risk, you can take on even greater risk, but in a smaller, you know, you take it bite-sized basically until you're able to emotionally and psychologically handle larger risk. I guess, you know, what's also helpful too in making decisions about life, making big decisions about life and risk and all of that stuff, just remember this, and this is certain, you know, this is one thing about risk as well. It implies the element of uncertainty. We don't know what the outcome will really be if we make a certain decision. But one thing that is for certain, for everybody, unquestionably, unless somebody invents something to make this different, one thing that is certain is that we're all going to die, that we all have a certain length of life. We don't know how long our life is going to be. We don't know how we're going to die, but we're all going to die. And it's important to have that reality a part of your awareness, because then that will influence to a certain degree the kind of decisions you make. Well, okay, so my life is temporary here on earth. What do I want to do with it, right? I think what's important at the end of the day is that you be true to yourself. That's what's really important here. And what's being true to yourself? You have talents, you have gifts. Use them to the fullest of your capacity and be a contributor. Give of those gifts and talents to others. And then your life will be meaningful and have purpose. And I think that ultimately is the greatest success, is when you have a sense of purpose in life. I think I'll end it right there. Take care, have a great day, and carb up.